So then, partnerships between junior and big players in the mining industries have come under the spotlight during deliberations around inclusion in the sector. This fits into the agenda of the 2022 Investing in Mining Indaba. It's underway in Cape Town this week. Let's take you live there. Bring in our business reporter, Tumisang, Ndlovu, who's going to tell us more, Tumisang, about the discussions going on day two.
Indeed, Tembegile, deliberations are robust at the 2022 Mining Indaba, and this time around we are focusing on collaborations, partnerships, as well as the networking that is taking place here. We speak to the Group CEO at DM Minerals, that is Dr. Motswadire. Thank you so much for your time, Doctor. Networking, of course, big on the theme, but the focus is trying to find investment and partnering as well as collaborating with big role players within the mining industry. How have you fared, and what do you view this particular engagement as in terms of tangible participation?
Thank you, Tumisang, and thank you for inviting me for this discussion. So I found the platform is very, very well enabling a platform for everyone to network. But of course, it comes with its limitations and also with challenges. You are not able to access all the opportunities that have been discussed here because of the investment that is required to tap into those opportunities. So it is good for network. Yes, of course, you could come across and meet people from different spheres of the world, all across Africa, and everywhere else, across the world. So for that, it's really positive. But from tangibility, it is a very, very challenging that it is, because you could require a lot of capital to tap into those opportunities and also get the market. If you look into Africa, where we're going now as a mining industry and as the world, we're going into the space where we need to think green. So having carbon-free society, carbon-neutral commodities, carbon-neutral production. And what is underlying all of that is the battery production of those commodities that goes into the green energy, the green battery. If you have the electric cars, they will need to be powered by the batteries, and those batteries requires metals, and those metals are produced predominantly in Africa. Africa produces about 71% of the metals that are required to go into the batteries. I mean, your copper, your lithium, your cobalt, and your rare earth minerals. Those are here. But if there is no opportunity that is provided to a junior miner to be able to produce, and also have the human capital to be able to add value to make those batteries, we'll always see that we produce minerals and we outsource to somebody else, like a Japan, to bring the commodities in a finished product, like for example electric car, and also like those batteries, because we don't add value. But the value add of the whole discussion, I think that was important, because if you see the theme of this in mining is investing in mining, but the focus has been more on green energy and also on communities.
What then is the role really of the big key stakeholders in the mining industry, along with the state, to ensure that this partnership is one that is going to be fruitful? We've spoken about policy, and we heard from the Minister of Minerals and Energy, along with the President, talking about these collaborations taking place in a manner that we are going to see inclusivity and removing barriers to entry. Smaller players in the mining industry also getting a piece of the pie. How do we get there from a policy and regulation perspective?
Yeah. Sometimes I argue that policy is not even worth the paper that is written on if it's not executed. There is a discussion. Yesterday I had a discussion with one of the CEOs about what do we need to do to create net positive outcome for the society. With net a positive outcome, there is always a negative side, because that's why you can play with the net. So we focus more on the positive that we can create, but we don't think about the negative side. So if you go into communities There are communities where you need to understand there are stakeholders within the communities. There are municipalities, there are cooperatives, or there are union leaders. Unions in terms of the labor, and there are also community leaders. But most of the time, the community leaders themselves, they are fragmented. They don't even collaborate with themselves. And once you go in your mind, you go into one sector of the community and you leave the other part, you're going to get that animosity between the community, because they've got different leaders. We've got some of them got their own what is selfish intentions. But if you don't get into that, you will not be able to produce that positive and inclusivity that is required. Because going forward, will require the trust between the labor and the management of the mines, and also with the community, and also maybe bring academia so that we can innovate to be able to to bring about how we can add value into the commodities that we produce.
Absolutely. Inclusivity goes hand in hand with the investment sought really to expand on the trajectory of investing in mining in the African continent.
Tumisang, Ndlovu reporting from Cape Town this afternoon. Thank you.